Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Heart-Based Business Show. I am ready to rock and roll today, and I hope you're going to rock with me because we have a fabulous show lined up for you. We're going to be talking all about what's going on in our world right now and the changes that we're experiencing, because it's not easy, is it? It's really difficult, not just for you or the guy next door. It's difficult for everybody because it's changing so drastically and so quickly. We can't hardly even keep up with what's going on, right? We're just, wow. I mean, we wake up and we never know what's going to happen that day. I used to have an ex-husband like that. I never knew what was going to happen on that day. So we're going to talk about what's going on in the world, how COVID is affecting us, and how we can make a difference in our lives. Would you like to hear about that? Because I've got a great guest for you today. And she and I are a great blend because we have that psychology background and we can read people and what they're challenged with, like the stress, right? And you guys got people at home that are taking up all the rooms in their house. And even my son is challenged with this because he's got people in every room. And now he's ended up doing his multi-billion-dollar business from his headboard. So we will be right back. Just hang in there for a minute for me. And we've got to do this little thing to open up the show. And I'll be right back with you. And welcome back. I am Dr. Shirlene Reeves, your host, and I'm really good at business and dealing with people's stress through the transformation treatment. And this is kind of show right now today is the kind of show I love to have. And I want to tell you about our guest because she is right on par with what we're going to talk about today, because she does these fabulous life-changing trainings that use heart-centered, research-based practical tools that allow you to take control of your mind rather than your mind controlling you. How many times have I talked to you about that? If we don't learn to manage our mind, we got so many problems. And my guest and I were talking about this just before we started the show, and we're going to continue that conversation with you. And I just want you to know that this person is a top 101 expert, a top female visionary of the year, and top counselor. And she is amazing. And she even has 2 master's degrees. Can you believe that? And so I'm just going to bring her on. Is that okay? I don't want to go on and on. I just want to bring her on and let her start sharing with you what she knows. So let's welcome Catherine Gruner to the show. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Shirlene Howard. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, I'm delighted you're here because you know so well this topic. And I want to start right off by talking about how we have our kids at school, the kids here at home instead of at school. So now we have no peace and a ton of stress. And what are you telling your clients about this? How are they supposed to manage this? Because they're managing work, especially the women, right? They're managing work, their home life, and now they got to be the teacher too. So share with me and our viewers what in the world you're telling people to do, because I don't have an answer for it.
Right. Well, I think nobody has an answer for it, right?
Darn, I was hoping it was you who was going to have that answer.
I got some ideas. I definitely can problem solve like the best of them. I can problem solve but this is something that nobody's been prepared for. So nobody's prepared for it. So first off, there's a lot of belief systems that like, I should know what to do. I should be able to handle all those shoulds, right? I should. So first off, no, nobody's ever done this before. So we're going to erase those shoulds. I should be able to, because
Stop shooting all over yourself, right?
That's right. Stop shooting all over yourself. That's right. Um, and then identify kind of, you have to negotiate sometimes how, negotiate with your business, negotiate with others about how to be able to combine. So we have to redo whole entire new schedules. So I've worked with my clients since the beginning of this about, okay, throw everything out. First off, everybody relax. Is everybody healthy? Is everybody safe? Is everybody okay? All right. 1, 2. So spaces and places. Redo your whole, where's a space and place where you can do, where's a space and place where the kids can do their work, where's a space and place where you can do your work, where's a space and place where you all can come together. Whereas even in Chicago, we're doing a lot of outdoor stuff, making sure that you have outdoor places, and then cutting your schedule into making sure you're adding. The weirdest thing that I think has been interesting for the majority of my adult clients, parents and women, is you actually have to schedule in time. You have to schedule going outside. You have to schedule getting up and moving. So recreating an entire schedule based upon everybody's needs. This gets really tricky when you have 3 or 4 kids with 3 or 4 different schedules, even online schedules.
I love that you're in Chicago, because we know how Chicago gets in the wintertime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how are people going to go outside? I mean, you can't stay outside for any length of time in the winter. I don't know, and now you're supposed to eat outside?
Well, I don't know how that's happening.
That's going to happen?
Yeah, I've seen some of the contraptions and things about for the eating outside, but I can tell you that those heaters, those outdoor heaters, are really hard to find now. So talk about your shopping list, right? Everybody wants to find the outdoor heaters and get outdoor heaters, and then we're doing old school, just bundle. You remember the Christmas Story, where they're bundled up in the huge thing, and they're like, right? So we're going old school, and where you just bundle yourself up to get outside to stay warm. I have to say that one of the nice things about the masks is that they keep your face warm.
Yes, they do. There is an advantage.
I'm all right. That feels pretty good, right? I'm okay about that. So it's still important to get sunlight, right? To be and to move. The other part that I think is really a lot of fun that I've been helping clients out with is doing a pretend commute. Think about how, so oftentimes even kids then too. So the kids would get in the car, right, or get on the bus, and they had a small commute. So they had a small point in time where they were able to either relax or sit down or listen to music, or how many times, I don't know about you, but I used to listen to tapes, right? Books on tapes and things like that. That commute, or stop at your coffee shop and get a cup of coffee, right? So creating, and the commute now is getting up and walking to the other room.
To the kitchen.
Right.
And everybody's talking about their COVID weight gain.
Right.
How am I ever going to get this off?
Right.
Because you can't even exercise much in the winter. That's really hard.
Right. Or how do you do your grocery now? Instacart, right? Here we go. I wonder why I'm getting so big. I wonder why. I got to watch my diet, right? Because I'm not even moving and going to the grocery store.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So making so redoing your whole schedule, thinking about things that we have to, like movement, that's so important, like interacting and talking with other people, and creating those encounters. And you can talk to your family, you can create family, like doing, somebody picks their favorite TV show all to watch together, or family dinners, super important. And you sit down.
Well, what choice do you have now?
Well, but making it more fun though. So bringing in those question books, 20 questions, and then you have a question that everybody answers. Or my husband likes to bring in an article that he finds about different things, and he's got this whole entire book where we're going to do like a reading a day, and everybody discuss it. so putting in time that we have to schedule in these things that we never thought we had to schedule before.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
Yes.
think outside of the box. It's not about going out right now to, it's going out and just taking a walk around the block, even if you're all bundled up, but getting outside and having a new perspective, having a new way of looking at things. And then in the morning, if you are having a hard time getting up in the morning or a hard time getting, walking, and you feel that anxious or feeling doldrum or feeling, oh my gosh, why do I even wear pants, or why do I even put on makeup, or why am I doing any of this stuff? Creating that new routine so it's for your health, so that you feel well, so that you can be resilient during this time.
Well, and if you don't get up and get dressed, there's so many entrepreneurs that don't get up and get dressed, so then they never get to work. Because the psychology of getting to work is all about getting up and getting dressed.
Right.
I mean, even if you have your pajama bottoms on the bottom, you should have something else on the top that makes you look professional, because then you feel more professional. And I'm just grateful that I do as much work on Zoom as I do, because I have to get up and get dressed. I have appointments, and I'm sure you do too. Yep. So it makes it so much easier. But if I was doing all my work from home and I didn't have all these appointments scheduled, I don't think I'd be so inclined to get that makeup on and get dressed.
Right. So creating new schedules to do, that's why I say like the pretend commute, the fake commute.
I love that idea. That's great. And where do you go, by the way?
So I actually created a whole coffee shop in the front of our kitchen.
Oh, cool.
And I took a whole thing, and we have like all the different coffee and tea and everything. And that's all it is. It's like the coffee station. So I go to the coffee station. So I get up in the morning, I go to the coffee station. I get my son up, get ready for things. And I go up and get changed and then get all ready for everything. Then I go down and say goodbye to my husband and close his doors. And we schedule a time to take our walk for the day, because that's one of the things I really look forward to, is getting outside, even though it's freezing. But put on our stuff and say, okay, what time are we doing? That's our break. It's like having a break. And then we go up into our room, and then I start my office and start my day. Mm-hmm. What I love about this too is that our teenager will come in, and he will periodically. So it's like we're having coffee break time, so we'll meet in the kitchen, and then we'll have a discussion. We'll have a talk. He'll say hello, or, we forget to, like, how with kids, I was going to bring this back to kids, how that touch, there's so much touch that kids, I've gotten more hugs, I think, from my teenager since COVID than I probably would have ever gotten, because just of the need, because, whether it be football or baseball or basketball or gym or, or whatever, right? Kids are constantly touching things, right? Mm-hmm. So that need for touch even. Right.
I think it's really different too, because, I'm a hugger. I used to hug everybody all the time. And now we can't do that. We just have to do an elbow. And I live alone. So I really miss that physical touch. I think it makes a big difference in a person's psyche, their emotions. But on the good side, I live on the beach. So I walk the beach every morning at 5:30 for an hour. Mm-hmm. And that helps a lot, because it dissipates the emotion or stress or whatever it is that I'm dealing with. The exercise helps a lot.
Right. And those positive ions, though, that are coming off of the water. Yes. Right. You see, I've got water behind me, absolutely. Right. And
I think that's the best thing. The best thing I could have ever done was move down to my home on the beach.
I want to be there. That would be lovely.
It really is.
I think though then too, it is like self-soothing then too, especially because I have clients who are living at home, but self-soothing them. How am I self-soothing? And you can self-soothe in other ways, like walking on the beach, like taking a hot bath,
Yes, that works too. Really
like
well.
putting on, if you're like putting on creamy, smelly, wonderful lotion, right? Hugging, I don't know, even though I have all two people in my house, right? I'm hugging pillows all the time.
I
I'm
do that too.
right.
Yeah.
And
I
feeling the
got a
different,
body pillow for my bed so I could
right,
hug a pillow.
right. That self-soothing is so important. These are things that we never even thought about before, right?
No, we just barely got into bed before we had to roll out and start our day again. Everything was,
Right.
we went from so much aggression and having to do
I
to
agree.
nothing, like overnight, nothing.
Yeah. Which makes for a lot of introspection on a lot of people's, and I think that we should not be afraid again. So watch the shoulds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not be afraid of the interest. This is the an amazing opportunity to be able to say, what's working for me?
Yeah.
What's not working for me? What do I want? Like when this, I can't wait until this happens. I can't wait till this opens up. I can't wait to do this. But I don't think I want to do that again. I don't think I want to, right? I used to see 10 people back to back on Sundays
Wow.
because it was hard for people to get, because the Saturdays, I wouldn't give up my Saturdays. So I used to see 10 people back to back. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to go and do 10 hours back to back with people.
It's too much. Anyway, you knew at the time that it was too much. You knew that.
It was, I used to get in the zone. I'm actually, but
Mhm.
I'm one of those people who like has a zone kind of, like I want to get in the zone. I'm good. Then I let go. Mondays, I never saw anybody though. Cause if I saw Tim, then I had Mondays off. Then Mondays were my day. That was my recoup day, my day where I took care of myself. I stretched, I did all my stuff. Right. But do I want to do that? So this is an opportunity to be able to ask yourself, is this what I want? Not being
Yeah.
afraid then of that introspective. And it's okay if you go like, maybe I've been sleeping. I had one of my clients say to me yesterday, I've been sleeping for 8 years in my head. I've been sleeping. I've been asleep for 8 years. And we've been through the process of waking, right? And of being able to say it's okay, right?
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, the opportunity, the possibility, I can't wait. I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait for today. I wake up and I say, today's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
I do that too, but that's what gets me out on the beach.
Yes, but during this time though, right? How to be able to take care. Exactly.
Mhm.
Doing all those strategies, how
Yeah.
to care for yourself.
Yes. And I come from a metaphysical background, and this is the period of awakening. Those of us who are here decided that we were going to be here at this time for a particular reason. We don't really know what that is, but we are here. We decided to be here. We decided to be a part of this. And if we can look further into what's going on as to why we might be a part of this, what is our purpose to be here at this time? You and I know what our purpose is because we work at it every day. But a lot of people don't know what their purpose is, and they don't really understand why they're going through this. Why is this happening?
Yeah.
So I think that the why causes a lot of anxiety for a lot of people. And then they get stressed and out of control.
Yeah.
And like you and I were
I
talking
hate that
earlier,
why.
and they
I tell
start
my clients,
texting.
I don't care about the why. I always tell them, throw the why out.
Yeah.
Why is for philosophy? Why is for science and interesting? Well, maybe why is over like a glass of wine or a cup of coffee sitting around thinking about things?
Mhm.
It's not for change, it's not for introspection, it's not for movement forward. Why is not for movement forward? I'm
Right.
sure there's some scientists who are really mad that I probably said that right now.
And I don't disagree with you because we're in a spot right now that's different than what anybody else has experienced in the whole world ever.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of really hard times. I mean, World War One, World War Two, the Spanish flu, there's been all kinds of things, and AIDS, and we've had one thing after the next, but nothing that really kept us at home.
Yeah.
And I love to say to my clients, how many times did you say, I didn't want to go to work this week. I just wanted to stay at home with my family and enjoy my family. You got exactly what you wanted, is what I tell them.
Right.
And if all those people hadn't been saying the same darn thing, maybe this wouldn't have happened. So that's your why.
That's right. There you go. That's what you want. I'll create something for you.
Yes,
I'll make something up for you.
And it's true. I mean, how many times when you were doing your coaching did you hear people say, I never get time to be at home, I don't even get time to spend with my husband, and my kids, they're off somewhere, I don't even know where they are, I don't know what they're doing. And now they know exactly where their kids are. They got a ton of time with their husband, more than they ever could have wanted.
Now what do I do?
And they're at home all the time. And for the first 3 months, I kept saying to everybody, you got your wish.
That's right.
Didn't you say you wanted that?
That's right. How's it feel?
What do you think about it now? And we're only 3 months into it, and I see a lot longer coming along.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this being confined to the house and actually being told that we have to be locked down, where we can't have people more than, I don't know, 2 in a gathering or some ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And really, it's not about us. It's not really about our health. It's about the hospital and the health system, because they can't manage it. All the beds are getting taken up. And I got an interesting thing to tell you is, because I live in Baja, what was happening with us is all the overflow went up to Mexicali, and then it went to San Diego, and then it went to Arizona, and then there was nowhere else to go.
Wow.
There were no hospitals.
Yeah,
so I completely see the management that is necessary, and that's why they lock us down. It's not to punish us, it's to manage what they're trying to deal with.
Right. And the deaths though. I mean, I have a friend of mine now has had 2 family members who have passed. And she's not in our area, she's in another area, but 2. So it is you don't know. And then if you don't have the healthcare, you don't have the support to be able to give people that life-saving treatments, or if you don't even have the money to be able to get to the hospital, to be able to get that stuff, it's the deaths, that we are losing. The loss is just devastating.
But I go back to saying, those are the people who decided they weren't going to go through this. It's just that simple.
Yeah. That's
the metaphysical perspective. And the ones who are the strongest are the ones who are going to survive. And if you think about it, what's happening is it's removing the weakness from the earth. That's what it's doing. And also, I heard a report that said that when all of us were inside, it rolled back Mother Earth 72 years.
Yeah.
In that period of time that we were inside.
Isn't that, there's so much we can learn.
Yes.
From this experience. Again, these are the gifts. These are the things that if we pay attention, if we look through the pain, if we look and we observe, we can say, what are we learning here?
Yes, absolutely.
What do we want to keep from this, and what do we not? What do we want to give back? I mean, I know that we were talking about earlier about just kind of denial or refusal to accept what is, what's happening, right?
Yeah. And it's the
Accepting what's
fear.
happening.
The fear is really ruling people. And the fear, of course, we both know creates anxiety. Anxiety creates stress, and then it just keeps escalating up
Right.
until somebody says, "Hey, what's happening? What are you doing?" Because none of that helps you. It only causes more problems with your health. It's just not wise at all.
Well, your health physically, but
Yes.
also I talked to a client today saying your mind is there. So you have a feeling, something happens, you have a feeling, but your mind is there to try to figure out what that feeling is and then to fix the problem. That's what it's there for. And so whatever's in front of you may feel like that's the problem. And your mind is not always, the thoughts that you have are not always true.
Right. And 9
so
times 10, they're not true at all.
I don't want to say that they're never true. So just.
No, we can't say never. I said 9 times out of 10.
Right. But because they're who you are, they're your compilation of your experiences, your past, the environment, but whatever's in front of you. So say you're really angry and I don't know, and there's a rock that's right in front of you and your toe hurts. So you say, "Stupid rock, I must have hit you with the toe." Maybe you have an ingrown toenail. I mean, how do you, so whatever, it's going to take whatever's in front of you and that's what it's going to come up with. It's going to say it must be this, or maybe it's a memory from the past, or maybe it's something that you've been thinking about. So, and when people just automatically take that and say that this must be true, and they run with those thoughts, their mind takes control rather than the truth and reality.
And the truth is, your mind is extremely fickle because one day it'll say, "Oh yeah, this is definitely true."
That's right. That's the problem.
Then you wake up 3 days later and your mind goes, "You were really too hard on that guy. You shouldn't be like
must have been the other problem. No, now I have all sorts of problems. Now everything's a problem."
Yes, and my mind can't even get it together enough to show me which direction. That's something you and I were talking about earlier, about making sure that we have control of our mind. We manage our mind instead of letting our mind manage us. And I've done so much on that and talked about that so much.
Yeah.
But I have loved chatting with you today. I have absolutely loved chatting with you. And I was wondering, did you bring something for our audience that they might like to have?
I do. I have a one sheet, quick sheet that they can. I'm not sure how I share that, or do I send it
in the YouTube description down below? Perfect. So just check down below, and you'll also find out how to connect with Catherine because we put her email there. And I think you love the work that she does. It's just absolutely fabulous. And the fact that she has life-changing trainings, that might be just what you need right now. So check it out. And I think that you just had so many good words of wisdom, and we've had so much fun together.
I had such a great time. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed that today. I love it when we can just come on and talk like girlfriends, and you get great wisdom out of it. And I think that Catherine offers some really fabulous trainings. And if you are stuck in anxiety, or you're having a challenge with stress and you aren't getting along with anybody, then reach out to her, because she's so heart-centered and she does these things that are so practical and so easy to do. So look down below, and I'll have her contact information and her one sheet that she is willing to offer you. And I just want to thank you so much for being with me today. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday with another fabulous guest. So I'll see you then. Take care, everybody, and be well. Stay well.